Welcome back. In this video we will set up firewall, or more specifically uncomplicated firewall, which is short term for UFW. UFW is also known as front end of IP tables. Its main goal is to make managing firewall drop dead simple. We all know firewall is used to allow or block connections to a machine. We have also seen in AWS we need to open inbound ports and the protocol. If you remember, we had understood this with the help of flowchart. In simple words, AWS instance has firewall configured by default. Needless to say, I will not use AWS in this demonstration, so we will set up UFW on DigitalOcean Droplet. Next, open the file attached with this video lecture. To install UFW, copy this command and execute it. Password. Next, we are going to allow all the outgoing connections and we are going to deny all the incoming connections by default. After that, we will open the necessary ports for incoming connections. So copy this command, paste and run it. Now our default outgoing policy has changed to allow. Next, copy this command, run it. Default incoming policy has changed to deny. Next, we will open the necessary incoming ports one by one. First, let's allow SSH connection through UFW. Instead of typing SSH, we can also use port number, port 22 for SSH. Next, we will add HTTP rule. Next, HTTPS. Like this, we allow incoming connections to our server. Next, if you want to delete any rule, you can type sudo UFW delete allow 22. Next, if you wish to know port used by any Ubuntu service, use this command. Here we have list of all the services available for Ubuntu server and their corresponding port number. It's start from 1 and it will go up to 65k. Quit by pressing Q. Next, to list all the applications listening to ports, use netstat command. This result may not be useful for us. Actually, we need to add some parameters to netstat command. If you want to list listening ports, use parameter L. And like that, if you want to know TCP sockets in use parameter T. Like that, you can make their combinations and use it. For example, let's use this command. Here we have list of ports and their state. So 110 port is listening, 5 times 2 is also listening. Like that, we have port number. Now note down the port numbers from here. We can also view this result in another way by using this command. Let's run the previous syntax once again. Now this looks good. So this 110 port is being used by dovecot and the 5 times 2 is by nginx, and like that we have all the list. So note down the port number. We need to allow 110, 5 times 2, 143 and up to this, and note that this IP address is localhost. We need not open the port 9000 for localhost. Basically, ports for localhost never has been closed. Next, these are the localhost addresses for IP version 6. And at last we have UDP, and this port is being used by memcached. Next, if you want to see port in use by any specific program, run this command. Now let's say I want to know which port is being used by dovecot. Okay, add sudo to the previous command. Okay, now we have list of ports being used by dovecot. These are the port numbers. Similarly, let's say I want to know whether port number is in use or I want to know which service is using any particular port. In this command, replace dovecot by port number let's say port 80, port 443, press enter. So engine X is using port 80, but 443 is not being used by any of service. Some of the applications requiring open ports come with the UFW profiles. We can list by using this command. So here we have dovecot, nginx, OpenSSH and postfix. Next, say we want to know more about OpenSSH. So we can type sudo UFW app OpenSSH. Press enter. So here we have port number. So port 22 is being used by, or we need to open port 22 for OpenSSH. Similarly for postfix, we need to open port 25. Like that we can list, like that we can get information which ports will be used. This is another way to know port number. Next, let's enable the required ports. We can enable all the ports in one line by typing port number like this and the protocol. Copy this command, paste it here and make a note of them, 25.465, 587, and look for the ports we need to allow. After that, once you are done, press enter. Next, to allow UDP port, use this command and replace the port number you want to allow. Let's say I want to allow port 123 for UDP protocol. Press enter. And if you want any port to allow for TCP as well as UDP protocol, copy this command or type command like that, sudo UFW allow port 53. Now we can check UFW status by typing sudo UFW status. So it's showing status is inactive. This means we haven't enabled UFW. To enable UFW, we need to type sudo UFW enable. Okay, it is displaying warning the existing SSH connections may disrupt. At this time I will say no, because I think I have disabled the UFW connection for SSH port. Now run the previous command to enable UFW. Press enter. Yes, it is saying that firewall is active and enabled on system startup. Okay, fine. Now let's see the status. Okay, here we have list of ports allowed. So port 80, port 443 is allowed from anywhere. All of these ports are allowed from anywhere. We have allowed port 123 over UDP protocol, and obviously those which are allowed on TCP protocol are listed here, and these are IP version 6. Next, there is few more ways to list status of UFW. Type sudo UFW status verbose, press enter. Seems like not much difference. Let's try numbered. Okay, here we have numbers. Let's go back to our guide. Okay, just in case if you want to disable UFW, use this command. Next, if your server support IP version 6, we can add IP version 6 into our UFW rule. Copy this command. We are going to edit UFW. Now in here we have already IP version 6 configured to yes. We can also list the applications running through UFW. Copy this command. After that, type lsl. As expected, we have 4 applications running through UFW. So far we have used port number to allow or deny connection. We can also use IP addresses, subnets, or even combinations of IP addresses, subnet, port to allow or deny through UFW. Now let's say we want to allow a connections from an IP address. Copy this command, that is sudo UFW allow from your IP address. Let's say your IP address is 192.168.1.1. So we have rule updated. Next, to allow connections from a specific subnet, use this command. By 24, we have rule modified. Now to allow combination of a specific IP address and port, use this command. Let's first change the working directory. Okay, now change the IP address. So we are adding a rule to allow connection from this IP address to port 22 for protocol TCP. Press enter. This rule worth to note. It is because you may not want to open your SSH port to world. In here, replace this IP address by your IP address, and the port 22 is SSH port. After that, block all the connections to SSH port. Next, last but not least, if you want to reset UFW anytime, use this command.